Streaming now, this is the Wood TV Live Desk.
And good afternoon, everyone. Phil Pinarski here with the News 8 Live Desk. Hope you're all having a great Thursday so far. Well, Valentine's Day is nearly a week away, so love is definitely in the air, but so are the scares, at least over at the Comedy Project here in Grand Rapids. It's hosting, and I want to make sure I get this name correct, this name of the event correctly, the Halloween Comedy Show Where Everyone Dies. It's happening this Friday and Saturday, and our guest today is here to talk all about this exciting event and what we can expect. It is Joe Anderson. He is the artistic director at the Comedy Project here. Joe, thank you so much for stopping by today.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks. Yeah, you got the title perfect. Great.
Exactly. Wanted to make sure it's a great title. Wanted to make sure everybody knew exactly what we're going to be talking about. And we're going to get into those shows that are going to be happening this weekend in just a bit. As a reminder to everybody, if you want to know a little bit more about them, before we get into the conversation, you can go ahead and check it out inside this week's Weekend Planner over on woodtv.com. But Joe, kind of starting off, wanted to give you the opportunity to talk a little bit about the Comedy Project, especially for those who maybe are not familiar with the club. Talk to us about what exactly you guys do put on week in and week out.
Awesome. Yeah. So we are a sketch comedy and improv comedy theater. We've got our own space. We've got a real big, cool, fun stage. We have a full bar and everything. And we do our main stage shows every Friday and Saturday at 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock. And our shows are kind of like, it's kind of like a Second City style show, if you're familiar with that, from over Chicago, or kind of like Key and Peele. Those are all sketch comedy type things. And then the improv element, the best example still is kind of like Whose Line Is It Anyway? Locally, there's a couple local groups, River City Improv, Pop Scholars, that also do improv. But we're the only improv and sketch comedy theater anywhere around. Yeah, we put on a great time.
Absolutely. And the space itself is already really cool. We were talking a little bit before the show started, just kind of admiring the mural behind you and really the whole setup there. Do want to move in now to the Halloween-inspired show that is taking place Friday and Saturday over at the Comedy Project. Halloween show in February. I mean, what really led you guys to wanting to put on, I guess, a different holiday show for this time of year?
Yeah. So you're right. First of all, we tried to make the place like the best place to see a show and the best place to be in a show. And so we hire, like a couple performers usually every year, and they join the cast. And that cast wrote a show this past Halloween, and it was almost sold out the entire time. But, it was for Halloween, so we only did it, maybe 6 shows. And the show was so funny. And so we wanted to bring it back. And so we're doing this Freaky February. So it was last weekend and this weekend only. And so we're doing the Halloween show Friday night at 7 and Saturday night at 7. And my guess is that they will sell out, so people should buy tickets ahead of time. But it's such a funny and fun show.
Well, you talked about it being so popular, wanting to bring it back. I don't want you to give too much away because we do want people to actually show up to these shows and experience it for themselves. But what are some of the things that they can maybe expect? Obviously, the Halloween elements to it. Just anything you can really divulge to us right now.
Sure. Yeah. So it's a sketch comedy show. There's a bunch of music in it as well. It's very fun. Like one of my favorites is about a couple trying to find a house, and the realtor has to explain them that something did happen here. And then as they get further and further into the home buying process, they find out that the whole subdivision had been where different monsters and serial killers had lived, but they're still really interested in the house. So stuff like that. It's such a funny show.
Yeah. Right. Is it kind of just trying to compile a bunch of different spooky Halloween, maybe related tropes and try to make them funny? Is it maybe more of trying to shed some laughter on maybe some of these more scary things that we kind of come to know through movies and shows and stuff like that?
Oh, for sure, yeah. So sketch comedy, that's the great thing about it. So sketch comedy, which again is kind of like, Key and Peele, SNL, Carol Burnett show, lots of stuff, like Kids in the Hall. It lets you kind of pick a thing that you want to really kind of attack or parody and really go at it. And so this show, it's only a 75, maybe 80-minute long show. And I think there's maybe 20 or 25 different sketches in it. So it moves real fast. Yeah, there's another real funny thing about, because people are cooking s'mores, but they never think about the marshmallows, and then essentially a marshmallow monster gets revenge on people enjoying s'mores. So yeah, it's like you said, it's taking things that we associate with Halloween and with that season, and just having a lot of absurd fun with it.
Right, absolutely. Well, Joe, we know that you're very excited about it. You guys have brought it back again, just kind of based off the comedy and everything that's involved with the show, wanting to bring it back for another set of audiences. For people that are interested in heading on out there, anything else you want to add to maybe get them over the hump? Make sure that they show up either Friday or Saturday at the Comedy Project and check out this amazing show.
Yeah, well, I mean, so our shows used to be at 8 o'clock and 10, and then but we know Grand Rapids likes to go to bed early, so we recently changed our show times to 7 and 9. So for this weekend, on Saturday night, after the 7 o'clock Halloween show, at 9 o'clock, we're doing a show called the Midnight Society, which is this kind of creepy campfire show, and it's all improv. And so people can not only come to the 7 o'clock, but then if they decide to stay for the 9 o'clock, they can do that for half price, which is only $7.50. So it's a very fun night. I encourage people to look us up, look at what people are saying, because if you haven't been here, most of the people that come here often would say that you're missing out on one of the coolest things in Michigan.
All right, awesome stuff. Lots of reasons to attend. And again, the two shows of the Comedy Project's Halloween